today I'm going to be making another card, but I just wanted to tell you that I'm going to be making this everyday card making series, which doesn't mean that I'm going to be making a card video every day. It just means that I'm going to be making cards for everyday use, so more simple, easy kind of cards that are all most occasional cards. So I'm gonna start it off by I'm gonna be making this first card, which is gonna be making a kind of glittered background. Hi, so today I'm gonna be doing another card making video. Now today's card making video, I decided that in one of my previous videos, I went ahead and asked people if they would go ahead and comment below, and I asked them what their favorite colors were for card making. So as you see, these are all the tallies of all the different colors and which one was the most popular. Now by far the most popular was blue, which had 6, and then the other green and purple had 4. Now I decided that because this blue was so popular and I just want to show you all the tallies of all the different colors and what people like, I decided to go ahead and make a blue card today. So I'm going to start off, and this is using a basic gray 6x6 paper pad. It's the Hey-You 6x6 paper pad. I got it recently and I decided to use this. It's like a grid, a cream or ivory grid. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this paper. I die cut it using the second or the largest rectangling die from the Lawn Fawn Stitched Journaling Card die, or the Lawn Fawn small stitched rectangle die set. So as you see there, I have the large and the small nested into each other just so that I can have all the different die sets or both of them together, so I can easily use all the different dies all together. So the first thing that I'm starting off, also I'm going to be starting this card making series, which just is a everyday card making series, which is just going to have different cards that are for everyday use, from thinking of you cards to hello cards to thank yous to all the different everyday different kinds of cards. So that's this series that I'm going to be starting today. So first I have this stamp from Hero Art. It's the large lotus pattern, and as you see, it's a pretty nice pattern. It's a more a thicker type of background stamp. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm inking it up using Versamark, and I'm gonna be doing some embossing today, but also I'm gonna be using some glitter. Now the first thing that this card is semi-inspired of Christina Warner, and she did a card recently, but her background, she embossed some snowflakes using some Versamark, but she inked it, or she used some Wow glitter embossing powder, which is really nice. They just came out with new glitter embossing powders, and I don't have any Wow embossing powders just because I have to order it online, so I didn't get to order them yet. But anyway, first thing actually, before I stamp it, I'm going to take, this is the Inka Dinka Do embossing powder prep bag, which this is very vital when you're doing embossing, just because if you don't have this on, really the embossing powder really sticks everywhere. So I highly recommend any kind of embossing prep kind of either bag or powder tool. Also, I like to take a piece of scratch paper and rub my paper in there. That's just easier to do, and make sure that I get this whole background covered, especially because it's such a solid background. You have to be kind of careful. Then I have my stamped image here. You can see it's very light, and this actually gives a really nice technique. You can actually see it, and it's a really nice background. But I'm gonna go ahead and make this a lot brighter. And I have here, this is some heat and stick embossing powder from, this one I believe is from Hero Arts or Ranger. And I'm just gonna go ahead and take it and pour this powder over my entire panel. Now when you're dealing with this embossing powder, again, this is the heat and stick embossing powder from Ranger. You have to be very, very careful in a sense that after you put it on, it's just going to be like a regular embossing powder. But the careful part is you have to worry about when you're embossing it that you don't over emboss it. The problem that many people have with heat and stick embossing powder is that they emboss it too long. So when you're dealing with this, you have to be careful that when you take your heat tool to it, you do it just until it gets shiny. If you do it too far, then what's going to happen is just going to make it clear embossing powder. But you want to make it so what happens is that when you use heat and stick embossing powder, when you heat it and it just turns shiny, what's going to happen is it's going to make it very, very sticky. And then you can go ahead and pour any kind of glitters or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and take this to my heat tool, and then I'm just going to heat it up until it gets nice and shiny, but not too much. Hi, so actually what happened was that what happens is that if you take the embossing powder here, and if you heat it a little bit too long, as you see here, it's already like a clear embossing. Now for some reason both of them did the same thing, and even when I did it very, very shortly, it still didn't get sticky. So I'm not sure what the problem was, but the first thing, I just decided to keep on to stay with it and I can try to make it work. So what I did is I heat embossed it, and while I have the heat gun on it, I just very quickly, what I did was that I took this piece of scratch paper here, and I'm using, this is the Glitterit, here I'm going to zoom it in for you. This is the Glitterit Opaque Microfine Glitter. This is the Blue Lagoon, sorry. And then, as you know, Glitterit's glitters, they're quite expensive. As you see here, I got it cheaper than this because I had some coupons and stuff. But still, it is quite expensive because it's such a fine glitter. It's really, really microfine. So actually, while I was doing this, I had to actually turn off my fan because it's so fine, it can really get everywhere. So it's really everywhere, but it's just a super powdery fine glitter. So that's why if you see on my desk and everywhere, it does have this glitter. But as you see, so what I did was I poured it out over this entire paper here, and then I heated this up very good. I made sure that it was all hot, and then I smushed it into the glitter. And while it was still hot, the embossing powder picked up all the glitter, and then afterward I was able to go ahead and use my heat gun again and then seal that glitter inside the embossing powder. So this is how it turned out. It's not as perfect. You can see there's some splotches and stuff, but to me it turned out pretty good. So this is the one technique that you can do if your heat and stick embossing powder doesn't work. Now as you see here, this is again with the Glitterit glitter. You can see that microfine, since it's such a fine glitter, it really has a sparkle and a shine way stronger than any other glitter. You can use different kinds of, there's all different kinds of microfine glitter. I really like the Glitterit, and you can see that really nice shine and sparkle in the lights. So something that you're going to think about. You cannot use, for heat and stick embossing powder, I wouldn't advise you to use extra fine glitter or chunky glitter. To me, the best way is to use a microfine glitter, just because it's a lot easier. If you imagine this powdery kind of glitter, it can really stick it can stick to the embossing powder really easily, compared to if you imagine a little bit just a regular fine glitter, it wouldn't stick as easily, and then it would have more of those white spots because the glitter can't cover everywhere. Anyway though, this is my background, so I'm going to get on to the next part of my card. Hi, so I'm back with the rest of my card. I have an ivory card base here. And this is a really kind of heavy card base. It's 110 pounds, so it's pretty thick. It's really a really thick one. I got this from Michael's when I went to the mainland. Now, I also have this piece here. I cut this piece out of the same ivory cardstock using the same die, and I just trimmed it down a little bit to make this little panel. So I'm going to be adding this onto my card, but first I'm going to do some stamping on it. I have this extra big block, but I have this stamp from the Hero Arts A Million Thanks stamp set. And I'm going to ink it up in the Memento Gray Flannel pigment ink. I do have a question for my viewers, is that between the Memento Luxe, the Avery Elle, and the Mama Elephant pigment inks, which do you like the best? Can you please leave your comments in the comment section below? I really would appreciate which one you like the best, because I'm really thinking about investing and buying a whole collection of pigment inks, and I'm deciding which one to buy or which brand to buy. So please leave your comments in the section below, and I'm gonna get onto stamping this now. So I'm just stamping it really quickly, and then I'm going to let it set on the side to dry and then come back. So this is my finished card. Thanks for watching. I just went ahead and adhered my panel onto my card, and then adhered this whole big panel using some of these sticker foam squares. It is a little bit warped, but from the front you can't tell at all. So I just use those sticker foam squares. These are the ones from Walmart, these sticker cheap foam squares that I like using. And this is pretty much my finished card. So thanks for watching. If you want to see any of my other card projects, please visit my blog at micahscrafts.blogspot.com. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, please leave your comments below, and have a great day. Bye.